Hey everyone, it's OJ here. Thanks for tuning in. I have another update on the Bitcoin forking just 2 days after my previous video, so don't go anywhere. So we were probably too early to rejoice on Thursday when it was announced that BIP91 was locked in, and it seemed like the scaling solution has been resolved already and it's coming to an end. Well, we had a bit of a surprise on Friday when we realized that another proposal, which was calling for a hard fork, and initially it was originated as something that will occur only in the event of BIP148 being activated, and we know that BIP148 is now out of the picture. However, the proposal for the hard forking, which is known as Bitcoin Cash, is actually going to go through. So now we are going to see on August the 1st forking of Bitcoin. It will split, and there is a small community of miners, mainly led by Bitmain, who posted on their blog, in detail exactly what is the proposal, and they claimed that it will only be coming into action if BIP148, the user-activated soft fork, was being activated. But as I said, now it's looking almost certain that the hard forking will go through, and we will be seeing a chain split, which is not great for the community. Of course, this will cause a devaluation of the price for the shorter term. It already started a few hours ago. Earlier today, Bitcoin dropped to 2,600 and it was trading in close to 2,800. So we're talking about a couple of $100 drop in a matter of a couple of hours as well. It's something around 6% by now. This is what is the latest figure that I saw. Again, it's bringing that big uncertainty and panic on the market for the small traders, especially for all of the new traders and people who are generally not certain about the future of Bitcoin. Of course, right now it will be testing time for the emotions of the market. This will reflect on the price. We can expect a further price dip. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a further price dip. And it's very interesting to see what Bitcoin Cash, which is known as BCC, how it's going to perform, what it's going to do over the next few days. Right now we are seeing a lot of news and media coverage about it. Of course, this is expected, and I'm pretty sure that the team behind it will put as much effort as they can in order to promote it more and get more marketing so that more people are drawn to the idea. They are starting with 8 megabytes block size, which is quite an advantage already. It must be mentioned that they are the opposing to Segwit team. At first we had the team led by Roger Ver and Bitcoin.com, who were proposing Bitcoin Unlimited. Bitcoin Cash has a lot of the same kind of ideology behind it, and it just looks like just a slightly different proposal to what Bitcoin Unlimited was trying to do in the beginning. But this is how the proposals went. First we had the Segwit proposal. That was the first proposal that originated by the Bitcoin core team and the original developers of Bitcoin, and that was not really welcomed by the community. At first the community was quite split whether they like the idea of Segwit, because it seems that the majority of the miners were preferring a bigger block size. And with the bigger block size came the proposal by the Bitcoin Unlimited team, and they wanted to be able to scale the Bitcoin size according to the needs of the network. So, it wasn't a fixed block size, it was scalable block size. That didn't go very well. Their software didn't really work when it was tested. There were a lot of glitches and things, so it kind of became clear that Bitcoin Unlimited is not really a popular choice. This is why more proposals came into plan. A lot of the miners were still not signaling for BIP141, which was the original Segwit proposal. And later we saw the controversial user-activated soft fork proposal, BIP148. Now that was calling for a soft fork being activated on the 1st of August, which in effect, in my previous videos, I already called it a hard fork, because quite frankly, it's excluding any blocks that are not signaling for Segwit, which is a hard fork, because that way it is not backward compatible, right? So then there was another proposal, which was Segwit 2x, and that seemed to be quite popular in the beginning, but it wasn't able to be implemented in the short space of time before August the 1st. This is why we had yet another proposal, and that was the BIP91, which became the most popular proposal. It kind of turned back to just signaling for Segwit and then allowing blocks to upgrade to the 2 megabyte block size later in the year. So it seemed like the most popular proposal, and you know, by all means, it seemed like we'll have a smooth transition in a soft fork of Bitcoin into Segwit. And it's been only a couple of days since the announcement came that the user-activated hard fork proposal, which came really recently, it's probably been a week now, or maybe 10 days or something like that. And as I said, that proposal was supposed to be only activated in case BIP148 comes into effect. Now the team behind it is claiming that they will actually go with it, and it will happen regardless of BIP148. So this is the chronological order of how everything went, and this is where we stand currently. What we know right now is that on August the 1st, BCC, Bitcoin Cash, will fork out of Bitcoin, and if you have any Bitcoin, make sure that what you can do is you need to have it outside of the commercial exchanges or wallets like Coinbase, centralized wallets. Make sure that you have your Bitcoin in a wallet that where you have your private keys. And this way you will be able to have Bitcoin on both blockchains, which would be the Bitcoin Core blockchain, the current blockchain, the dominant blockchain, and the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, which in the beginning will be seen as an alternative coin. Bitcoin Cash has still quite a small minority. It is probably around 10% if you look at it all together. We see that the team who is supporting Bitcoin Cash is the mining firm via BTC, have just under 5% dominance on the market in terms of mining power, hash power. And even if they're supported by a few other smaller mining firms, I wouldn't say that they have more than 10% support, which is still quite a minority. We can have a scenario similar to what Ethereum had earlier in last year when it forked, and we might have BCC being a kind of a smaller, not so popular coin for a time period, and then we'll have to just observe and see how it goes. Coinbase already posted in their blog that they will not be supporting Bitcoin Cash, so the fork will not really be supported by Coinbase, which means that you have to move your Bitcoin outside of Coinbase and into another wallet. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video, but we can see here that Coinbase is saying that they will not be supporting the user-activated hard fork. So far, they're only supporting the current Bitcoin version, the one that will have Segwit implemented. All of the links that I'm pointing out here, of course, will be listed below the video, so you can grab any of these and you can read the full articles and familiarize yourself with exactly what is the content and what's going on. Then also we had bitcoincash.org. This is now the official website for Bitcoin Cash, so you can find out more information here. Then you can also go to bitcoin.com and you will find an article from today that explains more about Bitcoin Cash and how that proposal will be implemented, how it's coming into effect and everything. So there are a few places that already report about Bitcoin Cash. We know that it's definitely happening. It is not the best outcome, it's not what the community was expecting or hoping for, because of course any chain split is always going to be causing some trouble in terms of price. If we look at the chart of Bitcoin, we can see that the price has already gone down to 2,578. This is on Coinbase, one of the biggest Bitcoin exchanges. And we can also have a look at the price of BCC, Bitcoin Cash, which currently is $457. Even though we can see it's already lost 11% since yesterday. Now this will be very interesting to monitor over the period of the next few weeks and see exactly what the performance of this will be. As I said in the beginning, You know, we don't really know what to expect. We don't know what kind of support Bitcoin Cash will have, you know, how much hash power, how strong this coin will be. It's starting really strong because it's starting with 8 megabytes block size, and it has all the properties of the current Bitcoin. So it will try to compete with Bitcoin, Bitcoin which will already have Segwit. The main argument against Segwit was the fact that Segwit doesn't really increase the block size enough, and Segwit 2x was also just proposing for 2 megabytes block size, and a lot of the miners wanted to see a larger size blocks. So this is why Bitcoin Cash could actually be popular in the future. Now, I personally don't see a very big support in the community for Bitcoin Cash, so they will have to do a lot of work in order to win that support. They will have to do a lot of marketing and a lot of applications and maybe smart contracts and stuff in order to really push their blockchain and win some extra hash power in order to compete with Bitcoin. For the moment, Bitcoin still stays the way we know it. It's only a couple of $100 down. We can probably expect it to go down to that level and test the support at 2,200 if things are going in the way that are currently going. So I wouldn't be surprised if we are going down to that support level. I wouldn't be surprised even if we go down to the lower level, which is the 2000s and even slightly below the 2000s. This is what it did last time, and it could happen again. It wasn't really likely that it will happen, but we can expect it. So this is something that I can comment right now, and I wouldn't really dare make any further projections. Generally, Bitcoin looks like a bullish market still, so it shouldn't really be going down for too long. Bear in mind, if you're holding Bitcoin, you shouldn't really be selling it right now. It's not exactly the right time to be selling. You just hold your Bitcoins and wait for the price to recover, which will happen eventually. It might take slightly longer, but it will happen. And if you have any Bitcoins that are stored in public commercial sorts of wallet like Coinbase or any of the other centralized wallets, make sure that you move it to another place somewhere, like even if it's Jax or Exodus, or if you have a Ledger, Trezor, any of these wallets where you can own your private keys, make sure that you copy your private keys separately on a piece of paper, write them down, have them stored, or on a USB stick, whatever it is, and just wait for the split, because after the split you will be able to use Bitcoin on both blockchains, and this is the only advantage that you're getting from that split. Otherwise, the price devaluation is something that we cannot avoid, but we'll have to just wait for it, and I'm pretty sure that it will go, and in a few weeks time it will be forgotten, and we're going to be looking at new highs of Bitcoin. So this is everything for today's update, guys. I hope this is helpful. If you like the video, give me the thumbs up or leave a comment below the video, and as I said, all of the links from these websites will be below the video. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next update.